Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan battle video. In this video we are going to be taking a look at the AGL Tarble and his EZA that recently came to DBZ Dokkan Battle Global as a part of the Raditz DFE celebration. So basically guys, obviously we are going to be taking a look at Tarble's EZA. Now, he's not a unit you're going to be using in a lot of teams, but he is a unit that does help a specific category, basically Vegeta's family and Sibling's bonds. Now, Tarble is a Sibling's bond leader of 77%. He also causes supreme damage to the enemy and raises allies' attack by 30% for one turn. He changes strength key spheres to AGL key spheres. This is a very useful ability to have. He has attack and defense of 100%, with the chance of evading the enemy's attack, including super attack, plus 30% when there are another 2 or more Vegeta's family category allies on the team. So you don't need to have a full Vegeta's family team, you can just have part of the team be Vegeta's family. His chance of evading the enemy's attack, including super attack, goes up by 5%, and an additional attack and defense of 50% when attacking with 3 or more key spheres obtained. And chance of evading the enemy's attack, including super attack, plus 5%, and an additional attack and defense of 50% when attacking with 5 or more key spheres obtained. He also buffs the Siblings bond category allies with 30%. If you calculate all of his boosts altogether, he comes out with a total of 360% attack and defense, which is pretty good if you take a look at how his whole build is going to manifest. So we're just going to be trying him out on a Vegeta's family team. Nothing crazy or too wild, I think, in terms of like how to utilize them or anything like that. I think he's a very simple unit. You're going to want to just float him for the most part. You're not going to want him to be a unit that sits in the rotation, but you know, it's to each their own. Basically, you are more than welcome to run him however you want to run him. Generally speaking, he's a pretty solid unit. I think that brings a lot to the table. I think he does a lot. I think he can genuinely be an incredibly useful unit for a lot of teams. So Tarble, I think, is useful. I don't think he's going to blow your mind, but I think he's a very, very useful unit. Especially the orb changing, I think, is something that can be used quite a lot, even outside of his teams, for things like nuking challenges. Having a character that designates one orb to another type is pretty solid. Plus he's also a support, so if you manage to be using a nuking unit that essentially functions on the Siblings bond category, you'll be able to run good old Tarble. So for me, I quite like what is happening. I think overall he's a really solid unit, and yeah, for me, I think he's very much a unit that can give you a lot of utility, and generally speaking shouldn't let you down too badly. With that being said, obviously guys, he is a free-to-play unit, so we're not going to be expecting huge stats or anything, but I'm pretty happy with how he sounds on paper. Of course, he does boost the allies' attack by 30% as well. It is useful, again, on a nuking team. If you can put him in that first slot, you can probably boost your nuker as well. But here we see pretty solid, 145,000 defense is very decent. There's nothing wrong with that amount of defense, especially since it's going to raise quite substantially upon super. So it will be very much close to around the 250k mark, I believe, if my maths is correct. I think it'll be around the 250, almost 300 mark, depending on if you're running equipment, etc. But yes, a very solid unit. Remember, he's also got, if you get 5 orbs, he's going to have 40% evasion as well, which is very decent. And his attack stat is also very solid. So he's also boosting the allies' attack on that, which is something that you can't really measure in the overall offense. So yeah, overall he looks really solid. Personally, I would give him criticals. It's just unless you want the double boost on the super attack effect, so unless you're trying to get a double boost out of the super attack effect, I just don't really see the point in giving him additionals. It's not like he increases his defense or anything, but it's going to be entirely up to you. You can decide what you want to run and how you want to run it. So yeah, generally speaking though, he obviously provides that utility. Yeah, he's providing that Siblings Bond, which is great. He's providing quite a lot to the table. So Tarble, I think, looks very, very good. I like him. Very dependable, very, very solid unit. We've got his best situation here. So this is going to be his best situation overall. This Vegeta he shares 5 links with, I believe, 5 or 6 links with them, and they also provide support to Vegeta's family category units. So you can see here, pretty solid stuff, very high defense. Obviously double support on the rotation right now. Need the 5 orbs, which we're going to arrange, so we're going to get the full boost of Tarble here. So we should see a pretty good showing from him. Hopefully his best stats all around. Obviously this is not a holistically realistic expectation, and when I say that I mean, you know, it is important to note that this is obviously the absolute best we're going to get out of him. You're even going to see the double super attack, bring him up to 3.2, which is pretty good. So yeah, overall he's obviously had a pretty solid turn there. That is probably the close to the best we're going to see out of him. So yeah, very good by Tarble. I think, yeah, he brings a lot to the table. I like units that, yeah, he's got a bit of evasion, he's got a bit of support, he's got a bit of orb changing. It's something that's incredibly reliable, and it's just going to help you build a better team, have a better functioning team. You know, the AGL orbs helps Martian Vegeta, for example. It helps your team flow when you're making orbs. Like, everything just functions better, basically. So yeah, for the most part, I think you should be pretty happy with how things are going. Obviously, in terms of links, he's got Saiyan Warrior Race, which is something notable. He's got Royal Lineage, Brainiac's the Saiyan Lineage, Respect, Cold Judgment, and Sharing the Limit. It's very difficult to get all these links active, but he's got enough decent links for you to focus on. Generally speaking, I would focus on Cold Judgment. It's the most common defensive link that you're going to get there, and you shouldn't really have that big an issue getting it, but you still can. I mean, you know, it is never a guaranteed link, but Sharing the Limit and Cold Judgment, probably your most common links. You have quite a few decent pairing partners that can kind of run with that. Obviously, some of them aren't, unfortunately, on the Siblings Bond category, so try and pick out a unit that's on the Siblings Bond category. It will help you out. It will just get more benefit out of Tarble. But there's plenty of decent options on Pure Saiyans teams, you know, Siblings Bond teams, Vegeta's family, and that's mainly where you're going to be running Tarble, unless you are running him for a nuking team, and then that's a completely different story anyway. So Tarble, looking solid, looking good. I really like everything that he's brought to the table, and you have a great free-to-play pairing partner in the form of Bulma and Vegeta, who give him Cold Judgment and Brainiacs, which is like his 2 highest priority links, basically. So yeah, pretty solid stuff overall. Obviously, I wouldn't say Tarble's like the craziest unit in the world, but I think for free-to-play unit to have such good defense, 40% evasion, provide support, I think he's really, really impressive, and I think he's a nice buff for the Siblings Bond team, probably the most. Gives it a little bit more synergy, lets it kind of run a little bit better, and his requirements aren't bad. You only need 2 Vegeta units pretty much on the team. It's very, very simple to actually achieve. And yeah, I think Tarble is really, really solid. So from my side, very, very happy with his performance. And I think overall he's a very, very good unit. If there's anything else to say about him, I think, you know, don't really focus on link leveling him or anything. But yeah, just get Cold Judgment and you'll be alright. But yeah, that's going to be it from me, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like or leave a comment. As always, I really appreciate it. And cheers, and bye.